Hello 503, my name is Brittany Teacher and today is Wednesday, March 18th, 2020. Today we are going to do our Write lesson. We are going to start Units 5. We are going to work on pages 38 to 43. We're going to learn about I had a cold words. A cold, this is when you're sick. This is very appropriate for what is happening right now. You should be able to talk about what you are feeling in English if you are sick. I hope you're not sick though. But if you are, here's how we talk about our symptoms. Symptoms mean how you feel when you are sick. There are lots of different ways that we might not feel good. Okay, so let's talk about each of those things. I'm going to read. I want you to listen, point, and repeat after me. Here we go. Have a headache. Have watery eyes. Have a runny nose. Have a cough. Ew, he's not covering his mouth. Ew. Have an earache. Have a fever. Fever means you're too hot. 38.7, too high. Have a hoarse voice. Means your voice is. Have a sore throat. Okay? Number 1, let's answer this question. Do you often have a cold? This question is a little confusing. It's asking you, how many times do you get sick? I will say, I don't often have a cold. I don't get sick a lot. That's what that means. I only get sick maybe once or twice a year, or sometimes never in a year. Okay? There are some people who seem to be sick all the time. They would say, yes, I often have a cold. These are people who have allergies or maybe people who are unhealthy in some other way. They might have some sort of problem with their body that makes them sick more. Okay, so they would say, yes, I often have a cold. Maybe if they are sick 4, 5, or 6 times in a year, they will say, I often have a cold. So answer the question. Do you often have a cold? Say, no, I don't often have a cold, or yes, I do often have a cold. Write your answer at the end of number 1. Number 2, how do you feel when you have a cold? Okay, when I have a cold, meaning when I am sick, I have a runny nose and a fever. So that's what I will write. When I have a cold, I have a runny nose and a fever. How do you feel when you have a cold? Begin your sentence by saying, when I have a cold, I have blah, 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 blah. Have a headache, have a runny nose, like this, okay? Let's read Jennifer's story on the next page, a cold. I'm going to read. I want you to listen, point, and then read after I'm finished. Try reading by yourself, okay? A cold. Last week, I had a cold and I felt very sick. I had a cough and a runny nose. I also had a high fever. On Friday, I missed school and went to see a doctor. I even got a shot for my cold. I had to lie in bed all day because of my cold. When I was sick, my mom stayed by my side. She made me some delicious food and I felt much better. I hope I don't get sick again. So what happened to Jennifer last week? Look for the keyword last week. Last week, she had a cold and felt very sick. She had a cold and felt very sick. Number 2, what did Jennifer's mom make for dinner? Look for the keyword dinner. What did Jennifer's mom make for Jennifer? Sorry, no dinner. What did she make? She made me some delicious food. So write that here. Jennifer's mom made Jennifer some delicious food. We are going to practice how to write a letter, a story, just like this one. You're going to talk about how you feel when you are sick. Let's go to page 40 and practice Writing Basics 1. Here are some symptoms. Bad ways that we feel when we are sick. Here are some pictures of what those symptoms look like. You need to write the correct symptom with the correct picture. Number 1, what is he doing? Coughing. So we always write, I had, H-A-D, a cough. If you forget the word had, you are wrong. So don't forget it. Number 2, let's read all of these together actually. A headache, an earache, a cough, a fever, a sore throat, a hoarse voice, a runny nose, watery eyes. But all of them begin the same. I had, blah, 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 blah. Picture 2, what is he doing? He's blowing his nose a lot. Why? Because he has a runny nose. Okay? So write, I had a runny nose, and then cross out runny nose. Do the rest of the page by yourself. Page 41, Writing Basics 2. Circle the things you should do when you have a cold. Complete the sentences like the example. Remember to change the verbs to the past tense. Okay, very important. Don't forget this direction. So look at all of the examples. How many pictures do we see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But how many sentences? Only 6. That means 2 of these pictures we're not going to use because we don't do them when we're sick, right? Let's look at all of the things that we could do. Go see a doctor. Should we do that when we're sick? Yeah, so we circle it. Good. Next one. Play outside. Do we play outside when we're sick? No, so don't circle it. We're not going to use play outside. After you have found all of the things that you should do when you're sick, you need to write the sentence just like this one. I went to see a doctor. The verb here is go, but we have to change it to the past tense. Remember, the past of go is went. So we write, I went to see a doctor. Let's look at all of the verbs on this page. Get a shot. What's the past of get? Got. Take my temperature. What's the past of take? Took. That's right. Go again, we already know this one. Play. We are not going to use this picture. Take, the past of take is took. Stay, the past of stay is stayed. Drink, the past of drink is drank. Okay? So don't forget to change the form of the verb when you write your sentence, or it's wrong. Okay? Let's go to page 42, Writing Practice 1. Look at the example, write the sentences in the same way. Okay, all of these sentences are going to begin the same way. I had to. I had to, I had to, I had to, I had to, I had to. Don't forget to write I had to. If you forget the word to, you're wrong. So don't forget. Number 1, look at our example. lie in bed all day, cold. Oh, I had to lie in bed all day because of my. All of them are going to have I had to, because of my. So the first part, I had to lie in bed all day because of my cold. Number 2, we'll say I had to stay home all afternoon because of my cold. All of the sentences will be the same. I had to, blah, 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 because of my, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Next exercise. How did you feel when you were sick? Complete the sentences using the words in the box. Number 1, I had a cold and I felt sick. Okay. So you have 5 sentences, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 choices. It doesn't matter which word you choose. Choose anything, your choice. But you have to use the words I felt. I felt, I felt, I felt, I felt, I felt. And then choose anything. It doesn't matter. Number 1, I had a cold and I felt sick. Number 2, I had a fever and I felt tired. Choose anything you want, okay? Page 43, writing practice 2. Look at the example. Write the sentences in the same way. Remember to change the verbs into the past tense, just like before, okay? If you don't change the word to the past tense, it's wrong. Okay, look at the example. My mom make delicious food. We need to write the sentence and change the verb make to the past, which is made. We also need to add the word me. My mom made me delicious food. All of these sentences, you're going to add the word me after the verb. So look at number 1. My mom make. We need to change it again to made. Add the word me, made me some soup. My mom made me some soup. Good. Let's look at all of the other verbs. Number 3. What is the past of make again? Made, we know. Number 3, give. What's the past of give? Gave. That's right. Number 4, give again, gave. Okay, so don't forget to change the verb. And last, on page 43, correct the mistakes and rewrite the sentences. Number 1, last week I have a cold and I felt very sick. If you can't find the mistake, just look at the page 39 again. Look at the letter on page 39 again. Last week I had a cold and I felt very sick. Oh, what's the mistake? Should we say have or had? This says had. So we're going to cross out the word have, write the word had, and rewrite the sentence correctly. All of these sentences are on page 39 in the story. Okay, once you are finished with those exercises, you are done with your Write Right lesson. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.